Hello and welcomes back everyone, AnthWolf here with even more Star Wars The Old Republic, playing as Aya Kara, the Jedi Sage, and we've arrived on the capital world of Coruscant, here to hopefully find a cure for the ailment that's afflicted Jedi Master Yuon Par, our former master. So, let us begin. We need to get checked in at customs, and then need to get out of the spaceport. We will need to speak to Quaizen here. Wants to have a word with us, that's fine.
There's more to life than hunting, Quaizen.
Okay. Yeah, he's very focused on the hunt. We have a Jedi Knight here just arriving on Coruscant as well, it seems. What was that? Hunt gives strength. Fair enough. So we have a terminal which will give us our various heroic missions. If we don't interact or locate the NPCs that would give us these heroic missions, I think we'll encounter all 4 of them. See how we feel if we want to do any of the heroic missions or not. We have this individual.
Ah, you're here. It's a great pleasure to meet one of the Republic's finest. I read the report about your handling of Naylan Raylock on Tython. Extraordinary work for a young Jedi.
Youth is a matter of perspective. Jedi are trained from an early age to do what they think they cannot.
As I said, extraordinary. I represent Vanara Cale, Senator of Coruscant. She not only speaks for our capital world in the Galactic Senate, but oversees this planet's government. Senator Cale leads the effort to rebuild what was destroyed during the Sith Empire's invasion. Healing those old wounds has been slow and painful.
You're here collecting credits for the reconstruction, is that it?
A person with your skills can provide more substantial aid. This world faces many a crisis. A shattered infrastructure, a booming refugee population, whole sectors descending into anarchy. All of these hinder the rebuilding. Senator Cale believes you're specially qualified to deal with a dangerous and urgent threat. She'd appreciate the favor of a meeting. Immediately.
The great Jedi has fallen ill. She is my priority.
Keep an open mind. What's good for Senator Cale is good for Master Yuon as well. Senator Cale is the greatest leader we've had in decades. She'll not only rebuild this world, but the rest of the Republic with it. Speak to Minister Imo at the Senate Tower. Tell him you're expected. Good luck. And welcome to Coruscant.
Thank you. The sacking of Coruscant. I'm going to open this codex entry, because I want to know how long it goes. How long ago it was since the sacking, when the Imperial fleet descended on Coruscant and launched a massive orbital bombardment. Doesn't give you really a date. We know it occurred some time ago, a few years at least, and since then we've had an uneasy truce between obviously the Republic and the Sith Empire. The Jedi Temple here on Coruscant was destroyed during the sacking, and there's still much of the planet that still hasn't been repaired. There's some high-level people running around here. So hey, welcome to the Senate Plaza. One of the highest buildings here on Coruscant. where most of the various Republic senators meet and discuss, obviously, their major decisions. We have another priority missions terminal. Yeah, same things we saw on the Republic fleet. There is an astromech droid that wishes to give us information about the next flashpoint we will be doing, but we'll maybe speak to the droid much later on. We have an individual, a hologram here, telling you about various strongholds. If you would like a house here on Coruscant. PvP mission terminal. Probably the same one we encountered on the Republic fleet again. There are various vendors. I think there's an auction house downstairs as well, in addition to your class trainers. If you level up and you don't have a holo statue. But let's actually go into the Senate Tower. We need to find Master Yuon Par. There's the Minister. The individual at the space airport wanted us to speak to. But, as I mentioned, Master Yuon Par's our priority.
And the Outer Rim would have had a dedicated patrol. Just 6.
Nothing gets a majority these days. Everyone's looking out for their own interests.
It's not even election season. We can't accomplish anything without a unified body. Do they think they'll get to keep their seats if the Empire comes back?
The possibility doesn't seem to scare certain senators, whose names and planets I won't mention.
Yeah, we've mentioned this. The Republic is a democracy, and a lot of their major decisions have to be backed by a majority. And a lot of the councillors are looking out for their own interests, have been bought by the Empire, or just plain incompetent. Yeah, I've said it.
I failed. I failed. I failed. I'm sorry. I failed. Once there were 2 little boys. Their names were Parkanis and something. Why can't I remember?
It's going to be all right. I'm sure you'll remember eventually. Just relax.
But I have to remember. Padawan. I'm not mad. The man in the shadows is making me this way. He brings the darkness. It's coming.
The man in the shadows? I don't understand.
Parkanis! Parkanis, where are you?
Yuon! Farron? Please, see Yuon back to her room. I'm sorry you had to see that. I'm Attros Finn, the researcher here. We must get to work finding a cure.
She keeps talking about someone called Parkanis. Who is that?
You don't know either? Never mind. A cure is what Yuon really needs. The problem is that the greatest collection of learning in the galaxy, the Jedi Temple here on Coruscant, has lain in ruins since the war. I believe the answer to curing Yuon is in the archives of the Temple ruins, but accessing them won't be easy.
How can you be sure the answer is in the Jedi Temple? Perhaps there's someplace else you could look.
If it was known to the Jedi at any point, it's in the Temple. The Temple's artificers created a system to sort through the vast stores of knowledge. A set of 3 holocrons that served as guides. The wisdom and personalities of the Order's greatest masters were imprinted on these guides, which they called Noeticons.
These Noeticons formed a sort of virtual Jedi Council?
That's exactly it. And I need your help to recover them. The Temple ruins were looted. The Noeticons were taken. I have a lead on one of them, but it's not in friendly hands. Republic security spotted some Gan scavengers carrying a Noeticon in the Migrant Merchants Guild. The Republic brought one of the Gand in for questioning, but he won't talk.
Haven't encountered any Gand before.
They're a fascinating species. Quiet, humble, very loyal to one another. The Republic officer you want is Alec Efron. He's at the security outpost with the Gand right now. And I'm working on a lead for the second Noeticon. I should have something by the time you get back. Good luck.
Okay, so we have a researcher there. I'm guessing he's also a Jedi. And he's the one looking into Yuon's condition. So we need to find Alec Efron.
Report your ailments.
Do we need any of this? No.
You are fit for duty. Return to your post.
We don't need to explore any further here in the Senate Tower just yet. But we might as well speak to the Minister. Then gain access to Senator Cale, was it? And see what she has to say.
Bemerati Hivo, Semper Finst June, Nesan, Dumul Ganyor Nard.
Thank you for coming on short notice. I'm Senator Vanara Cale. Forgive my abruptness, but time is a luxury I don't possess. As you may have heard, Coruscant is overwhelmed with refugees fleeing Imperial tyranny. Many have been here since the war. The refugees took over the old galactic market sector, huddling in shops and warehouses that were abandoned during the sacking of Coruscant. They refused to leave.
Is the Republic doing anything to provide for these refugees?
Resources are scarce. There's only so much we can do. As so often happens when fear and poverty dominate, a criminal element has risen to take advantage of the situation. The Migrant Merchants Guild began as a political advocacy group for refugees. Over the years, it transformed into a ruthless and murderous criminal syndicate.
As if these people didn't have enough problems. Now they're being controlled by gangsters?
These criminals exploit the very people their guild allegedly protects. They rule through intimidation and extortion. The Migrant Merchants Guild has grown increasingly hostile and violent. Their criminal enforcers have acquired military-grade weaponry. Earlier today, their thugs took to the streets. They attacked our security personnel, set fires, began rioting. We're facing an armed insurrection.
I've negotiated with hostile parties before. Put me in touch with these criminals. I'll do what I can.
Jedi are warriors as well as diplomats. If diplomacy fails, we must use force. For generations, the old galactic market was Coruscant's central trade hub. Its importance isn't merely economic. It's a symbol of the Republic's freedom. The comm channels are jammed. We've lost contact with our security forces. I need your help ending this crisis. The criminals must not win.
If there's any way to settle this dispute without further violence, I'll find it.
Do not restrain yourself too much. These men are thieves and murderers. Do whatever you must to save innocent lives from that criminal filth. Find my security chief, Captain Winborn. He'll help. Good luck.
Seems the Senator was very keen to unleash the Jedi in a more militaristic fashion than just have us resolve to diplomacy. So we need to find Alec Efron and now Captain Winborn. I'm sure there's a couple of more people we can speak to, but we need to get over to the old galactic market. Thankfully, there is a transport service droid service available.
Welcome. Please select an available travel route. Have a safe and pleasant stay.
I'm trying to think of what Coruscant, apart from being the center of the Republic's democracy, what it actually constructs, what its industry is all about. It's a very industrial world. As you can see, it's greatly built up. But I think a lot of its infrastructure was destroyed during the sacking of Coruscant. Sometimes there's a world boss here. Let's see, is it around? It is, there we are. SDO. we probably can't deal with it. World bosses are enemies you can encounter when you not only just in a group, you normally need like a raid of maybe 8 people to deal with them. Or you used to anyway. It might be easier now. Maybe. So we have a bounty board here, where you can pick up the Republic's Most Wanted heroic mission. A criminal gang known as the Fondo 5 are confirmed to be active in the Old Galactic Market sector. Last seen entering the Far Trader Lounge, all 5 gang members carry death sentences and substantial bounties from various violent felony convictions. Bounty payment to be rendered contingent upon substantive proof of the gang member's final status. They're considered to be armed and extremely dangerous. Like, we're not really a bounty hunter, but we might as well try to bring them to justice. So we'll take that heroic mission. We have been given a heroic transport, but we'll leave that alone. And we got Herimis here.
Honorable Jedi, a moment, please. I greet you on behalf of the great and noble Senator Dolly Burbark. The Senator sent me as his representative, though he'd prefer to be here himself. He loves to walk among his people.
The Senator sounds like a wonderful man.
Oh, he's the most wonderful man I've ever met. Today, the Senator sent me to find brave and loyal citizens to help with a security crisis. It involves his work to restore the Republic to glory by re-establishing our technological superiority.
We must have wisdom, not just gadgetry.
Exactly. Senator Bark has the wisdom and perseverance to lead us all into the future. Recently, the Senator arranged to acquire a shipment of computer chips, advanced hardware that could create whole new industries for the Republic. Unfortunately, the shipment was hijacked by the Migrant Merchants Guild. Now, Republic security is afraid to take on the Guild's thugs.
You're looking for outside help.
Exactly. The Senator says this issue is really over security's head anyways. Recovering the shipment of chips from the Guild would be a great service to Senator Bark and the Republic.
The Force guided me to you for a reason.
The Senator will be ecstatic to learn that a Jedi is assisting. To find out where the Guild has hidden the Senator's shipment, you'll have to speak with Security Captain Denel Zahn. He ran the investigation. Then return the shipment to Senator Bark's office in the Senate Tower. I'm sure he'll want to thank you personally.
He's an ass kisser. So, we need to speak to Captain Denel Zahn as well. Thankfully, most of the Coruscant security individuals are just nearby before we need to tangle with the Merchant Migrants Guild. Wait. The Migrant Merchants Guild. Got it turned around. I thought as much. And we have a Nautilin here.
I'm desperate, Mal.
I wish I could help, Nick. I really do, but I can't spare the manpower.
Is this what the Republic has been reduced to? Indifference to the suffering of aliens?
My species hasn't affected the way I've been treated.
Maybe that's because you're human enough, or rich enough, or special enough. For us, there is no justice. We are ruled over by gangsters who call themselves the Migrant Merchants Guild. While Republic security...
Nick, none of you should be living here. We can't guarantee your safety. You know that.
Our homes were buried under rubble during the war. Not our fault the businessmen here are all crooks.
I understand things are difficult, but getting excited won't help.
Excited? This isn't some minor inconvenience. The Republic considers us squatters and wants us out. The Migrant Merchants Guild claims to protect us, but all they do is exploit us. Now, the Guild has kidnapped my mate Rhea and put her to work as an entertainer. Rhea! Forced to dance for the pleasure of scoundrels.
Why did the Guild kidnap your mate?
Because I failed to make my protection payments. And as you can see, Republic security couldn't care less.
Oh, for goodness sake, Nick, give it a rest.
There's no telling what humiliations and depravities Rhea's been forced to endure. My beloved is worth a great deal to me. Bring him back and I'll reward you handsomely.
Consider it done.
Thank the ancestors. I cannot express what this means to me. Rhea is being held with the other dancers in the guild headquarters. She's a beautiful Nautilin with lovely green head tresses. I'm sure you'll know her.
Okay. So we've learned about the Nautilin species, if you wish to know. And we need to find his mate Rhea. We can do that. Easy enough. We have the captain, Denel's on here to learn about the advanced technology that was hijacked.
In accordance with Security Force Regulation 1195, conversations with non-security personnel are to be kept to a minimum. Let's make this quick. I'm Captain Denel Zahn. Senator Bark's page ordered me to give you information regarding the Senator's stolen goods.
Where can I find the shipment?
Look, I don't work for him. If you want that information, we're gonna have to come to an understanding. Did the Senator's crony tell you where the shipment came from, or what these computer chips are for?
Now that you mention it, he didn't explain anything about the chips.
I'm not surprised. These political types like to gloss over details. The chips are from planet Ryloth. They're designed to operate remote control slave collars. Under Republic Law 4412, Rylothian slave collars and the chips used to make them are illegal in Republic space, even for senators.
Why would a senator need chips for slave collars?
To be honest, I don't know. But it really doesn't change anything. The law is the law. Our immediate problem is that these slave collar chips are spread around the Migrant Merchants Guild headquarters. First priority is get the shipment together again. After that, bring the chips back to me and I'll make sure they're destroyed.
That sounds like the right thing to do.
It's the only thing to do. Find the chips and get out of the guild warehouse. Once you've got everything, I suggest you let us deal with the shipment, not the senator.
Okay, so we found another perspective on the situation. Ryloth, I think, is the homeworld of the Twi'leks, and they have an interesting culture. If I try to explain it, I'd probably explain it wrong, but from what I understand, Twi'lek females, let me try and get this right, are considered lesser than the males, and most of them are taken as slaves from Ryloth and sold to the highest bidder for entertainment purposes. Let's put it that way. No object on the Gand. And as I say, with the Twi'leks, there's obviously exceptions to the rules, but yeah, Twi'leks are unfortunately kind of one of the races that get the short end of the stick. So here's Alec Ephron, and here's the one of the Gand who'll hopefully tell us about a new Edicon.
Jedi, welcome! Welcome to the old galactic market, sir. I'm sorry, I never met a real Jedi up close.
I'm a person just like you.
Right, yes. Well, anyway, this is the Gand we brought in. He was talking about that Jedi holocron you're all looking for, but he's not exactly, talkative.
You will tell me about the holocron. Where is the holocron now? Is there some sort of schedule that determines who holds it? You have my gratitude.
bet the signals have something to do with the Gand hierarchy. Throw up the right one and you'll get their leader.
Okay, so name's the Gand leader has it. Sometimes it's in the hand of a trusted individual. Okay. Using the Force to persuade and control the weak will to give up information or to do something they are against isn't always going to work. As I said, it's against people who don't have the mental fortitude to resist the effects. I knew that would work against the Gand, but I'm not too familiar with the Jedi Consular story arc to know who it's going to affect and who it isn't. It's going to be a trial by error. Here's Captain Windborn, who Senator Cale wanted us to speak to.
Cut power to the whole blasted planet if you have to. We can't let those crazies take over the network.
Captain Windborn? Senator Cale said you need backup. What's the situation?
We're getting cut to pieces down here. We're not trained to fight an army of killers. These gangsters are smart, organized, clearly trained off-world. They kill thousands. Might even destroy the Senate Tower.
The Senate Tower is nowhere near this sector.
Scum found themselves a way around that little detail. The gangsters brought slicers to access every network node in the sector. They're trying to take over the automated speeder flight paths. They'll cause thousands of mid-air collisions. It'll rain debris on the Senate Tower like a meteor storm. No telling how many will die.
They're criminals, not terrorists. They wouldn't do this unless they stood to gain something.
Let's ask them, after we crush their army. The gangsters have armed patrols guarding the network access points. We need to push them back and manually lock down the terminals. Get enough terminals, and we might just pull this off. My men will back you up. Good luck in there.
By back us up, how do you mean? Cause I know from experience that your men are just going to stand here and not do anything. Ooh. You know what? I don't think I've ever interacted with this little object. There we go. So I'll tell you what, we'll end this video here. That's the button. When we come back, we're going to be entering the Galactic Market, and we need to go play with the Migrant Merchants Guild. Yeah, that's the right way around. We need to stop them from taking control of the automated speeders by destroying or disabling the network that they're trying to access. We need to look into Rhea, we need to get the slave collar chips, and we need to look, for, of course, for the the Jedi Noeticon, or Holocron. It's the same thing. But yeah, I'll leave this video here. We're going to try and keep these videos, as I said, between about 30 to 45 minutes, and I don't think I'd be able to get all the missions done in that time in this video, so we'll split it into two. Why not? It's a good place before we get into some action. But as always, this has been AnthWolf playing Star Wars: The Old Republic. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you all take care, and I'll see you for even more next time. Until then, no. Bye bye now.